I'm here with Jane Warner, the CEO of California Lung Association. Jane, can you tell me, why are you here at an energy event?
The American Lung Association is very engaged in clean air. We say that when you can't breathe, nothing else matters. And we've been involved for decades in the issue around clean air because without clean air, you don't have anything. We are involved in policy and advocacy issues around clean air. We're engaged in transportation issues. Also, smart growth is a new and emerging area that we're highly engaged in because we have to do Southern California differently, all of California. How we build our communities, we've got to reduce the number of miles we spend in vehicles and change how we live.
What do you hope people walk away from today's event after hearing some of these speakers?
You know, the one key thing that we try to stress at the American Lung Association is the connection between energy and public health. Because people always look at the economic factors of energy, they look at the energy sources and their debates around solar and wind and all these different things, natural gas. But the bottom line is public health and how all of these factors affect and impact our public health. When we can't breathe clean air, the cost to society is astronomical, and that's why the American Lung Association is engaged in these issues.
What, from your perspective, what are some of the major challenges or issues this state is facing in moving this forward?
I think given everything that's going on right now in the United States, in our country, and in California, we are all facing a tough economic environment, and everyone is focused on jobs. But you know, when you think about it, yes, jobs are important, but if you don't feel well enough to go to a job, it doesn't really matter. And I just met a gentleman here that has a lung health issue, and he can barely walk from one end of this conference to the other end because of his lung health issues. So those things have to become much more top of mind for folks as we look at the impact of asthma, COPD, and lung cancer. Lung cancer is the #1 cancer killer of all cancers, and most people don't know that. They see a lot of publicity and marketing around other kinds of cancers, breast cancer, prostate cancer, colon cancer, but lung cancer is the #1 killer of all cancers.
And what do you hope the future holds if we hold more of these events and things actually occur?
You know, what has to happen is we see great progress in political individuals, regulatory individuals, everyone working together. It's not just the government, but it's business. And the other thing is it's nonprofits. We play a very important role in working together in all these communities to move this agenda forward. And again, what we want to bring to the table is the discussion of the public health issues. When a parent has a child with asthma and the kid can't go to school that day, then the parent doesn't go to work that day. And the cost that this is that we're all facing is astronomical, and we've got to pay attention to that because it's a part of what we're all facing today with the economy, with our fiscal crisis. Reducing those healthcare costs is absolutely a must.
And what do you think those healthcare costs would be if we do nothing?
It's hard to predict. It certainly would be in the trillions. We know, for example, that just as it relates to tobacco, here in California, 3.6 million people still smoke cigarettes. That's more than the entire population of Oregon. And the problem with that is that it's not just the smokers that pay those health costs. You and I are paying those health costs. And it's the same thing when it comes to air pollution and our quality of life as it relates to air. I can go to the grocery store and I can buy a bottle of clean water. I can't go to the grocery store and buy a bottle of clean air. We have to breathe what's out there, and it's going to take the cooperation of all government, all business, and nonprofits, and people. That's the other factor, is that individuals have to take some responsibility. They can't just sit back and expect our governments and our businesses to solve this problem. For example, I drive a hybrid car. Everyone has to start thinking about what they can do individually to make a difference and reduce the air pollution in our country.
And this is truly a national issue, not just a statewide issue.
It absolutely is a national issue, and frighteningly, it's actually a global issue. One of my staff just made a trip to China, and she brought back pictures of the smog and the air pollution there, and pictures of all the stores with cigarettes. And it was just frightening to see what's happening. And as we know, air moves. We can clean up our air in California, but if we don't clean it up around the world, that air is going to come into California as well.
Great. Thank you for your time, Jane. Really
Thank
appreciate
you.
it.